Hi guys, we take here Blueberry Hill. So here we are. This is July 4th. Finally getting around to doing some fixing from the February storm that we had in Texas. Basically took out all our rainwater gear, all the filtration, and including the pump. And here I am finally getting to fixing up the main tank. It had developed a very slow leak. You can see all like black crud at the bottom of the tank. And I used all PEX line here, so you can't see very well, but what I'm doing there is unscrewing the connector to the PEX hose, and this actually works pretty well because you can spin the PEX on the fittings without destroying the watertight connection, which is fantastic. So unscrew it from the T connector to the tank, do that on both sides, you'll see that in a second, and then I put in the new tank. This literally took 20 minutes to do. It was just a little dirty and pain in the butt, but not a big deal. Pretty straightforward. PEX is cool too because you can rotate stuff. It flexes a little bit, so that's awesome. Unlike PVC, which will probably just snap. But anyway, no big deal. I got rid of the. I thought it was a good idea to put a piece of wood in there. It was until it leaked. So pretty nasty stuff. So now we got that cleaned up, and then we upgraded the tank size as well. We went from a 32 to an 85 gallon. So the pump will work a lot less often. It'll cycle in and fill that tank up, and then we'll have water for more time than we did the 32 gallon. Anyway, we think it's a good idea, and so far it's been working pretty good. Out with the old, in with the new. So I undo the T from the old tank. Unbeknownst to us, the tank has a cast iron elbow. We started rusting, and I don't want to drink rusty water. I'm not sure why they even bother with that kind of stuff, but the new tank is plastic. I feel a lot better about that. I'm not sure what the point of to Waterworks. The old one was a Waterworks, and why you'd have something that would rust on the inside of the tank, I don't get that part. So I did a whole bunch of Teflon tape on those fittings, and then here you see me reattaching the PEX hose. Basically, I just spun the fitting inside the PEX hose and attached it to the T, and everything worked out pretty good. I did end up with one little teeny water leak. I just tightened the fitting one more time, and it went away. So that is a thermostat right there. It tells the UV light to come on when it needs to, and we've been cycling it. We're only 365 days, right? So we're 10 days in, and we've had this for quite a while, running about a year. So I didn't have the thermal shut off on it initially, but I do now, and it goes maybe a week per day because it only cycles for a few hours whenever we're using water. This gets really hot. It shuts the power off to that. We use water that's there. As soon as we use water, the thermostat makes it go down, and then the UV light kicks in and starts doing antibacterial stuff. Anyway, it looks like my new tank's working. You see it running. It's doing almost 65 pounds, 60 pounds. This is a 85 gallon. Pretty easy to change. Uh-oh, I got a leak. I got a little leak right there. Gotta fix that. Leak is gone. We're good to go. 60 pounds. Right on. Hey guys, VTech here, Blueberry Hill. So here we are. This is an electrical mock-up day. I'm going to walk through the house, mark out where we want the light switches. We do have it on the plans, but just physically looking at stuff, we might just change the position of some of the sockets. Light switches, pretty much, you know, when you enter a room, you have a light switch there, three-way or whatever you need for the particular part of the house. Like the hallway is going to have three-way switches up and down the hall, so you don't have one spot to turn just lights on. Ceiling fans are going to be pretty much the center of every room, big ones. We're going to do some kind of boxes for those that support, 40, 50 pound weight. Definitely not going to do the ones in the living room like today, but we know pretty much we're doing 3 ceiling fans in the living room just because of the height of the ceiling. But pretty much every room gets a single fan, and then whatever light switches we need and so forth. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we're going to switch to time lapse, and I'll try to speed things up as we do it. It'll be more sync to put the stuff in, put the boxes in first, of course, and then we start throwing wire around. I have not ordered the panel yet, but it's going to be the same panel I did in the shop. It's a 48 slot panel, quite inexpensive, or it was, and a half ago. Don't know what it is today. But anyway, we're gonna stick with the same stuff, same quality, and go from there. Anyway, we'll catch you in the time lapse. See ya. So basically, I just ran around the whole house putting blue tape up. Sockets are roughly a foot off the ground. They claim they are 12 inches to 16 inches off the ground. Light switches. For the most part, all the rooms get switch for the fan and the light on the fan. Sometimes we will not put a light on the fan because we have kind of corner lamps and stuff like that. Anyway, pretty straightforward. It was just common sense kind of stuff. The places that are needed more attention is in the offices and in the living room where we need TV output and data and all that kind of fun stuff. I am going to plumb it for data lines. I'm not a big fan of wireless, but it hiccups here and there. But we have pretty good routers and stuff for our internet or LAN here. But for the most part, I like hard connects, at least in the offices, and the rest will be wired Wi-Fi. But here I am doing fancy stuff. We're going to find some pretty cool LED lighting as well. We were looking at that, and we're pretty excited about it because you can do all kinds of cool stuff with LED, like under cabinets and in the living room area for highlighting and stuff like that. So we're going to make use of that. It's actually quite inexpensive and has all kinds of color options, etc. So we're excited about it. We'll see where that goes, but that's a little ways away. So for now, it's just the outlets and stuff, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, VTech here, Blueberry Hill and Angie. We're doing framing for the fireplace. We ordered the fireplace 2 days ago, and we have the instructions to do the rough in and all that stuff, but we're doing straight up to the ceiling. See the blue tape over here? That's kind of the outline of the fireplace. It's kind of, we bought a large one. It's 42 inch by 28 and a half viewing area, so it's pretty big. It's supposed to be 59 inches rough opening from the bottom of the fireplace, and we're gonna make it roughly a foot off the ground for that, so the height is gonna change a little bit. But anyway, that's what we're working on today. We're gonna switch over to time lapse, and we're getting all sweaty already, so see you in a bit. So here's the beginning of building the fireplace walls. The first wall is the one in the front, which is the for the rough opening of the insert. And I did make a little mistake. I forgot about raising the header up enough because we're going to put a mantle around there, or earth rather. Sorry. So I put this in, and then a few minutes later I realized what I did and I had to bang it out. So live and learn, right? So while I was building the thing, Angie was running around cleaning up and actually using a shop vac to clean up the other rooms. It's amazing how much stuff we get in there. That when you use a nail gun, all that plastic junk that falls off the nails is all over the place. So we're sweeping that up, and just so we don't keep stepping in it and stuff. And he's doing a good job with that. So cleanliness is godliness, as he say. There's the back wall. Basically, it's just a flat wall. Pretty easy to do. This took 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You cut the wood and then throw it up. These are all full-length studs as well. So the only thing I had to cut was the top and bottom plate. So here we go, got a little redo to do. So I decided in all this, we're going to make an earth around the fireplace and raise it about a foot off the ground, just so you can sit around the fire and have fun. So roughly about 11 inches, and the rest is going to be stone, some kind of overlay right in front of the fireplace. So I got to take, that's going to be, the framing is going to be sitting on the ground. That means I got to raise the header roughly a foot. So I'm going to cut that out. Sawzalls are wonderful things, I use them all the time. But anyway, we'll fix it and we'll make it right, and then we're going to raise the opening. It is a rough opening, it's very large because the top of the fireplace kind of kicks in, and then you build the framing down towards the standing, the support piece that they call it. So it's not, the fireplace is not that big, it's just the insert itself is, and then the face will come down a little further. Again, it's a 42 inch with a 28 and a half inch opening. So this is way bigger than that, right? It's 59 and a half inches opening. So it looks gigantic. That's not the opening for the fireplace itself, just the insert and so forth. Anyway, it should be coming. We ordered it 2 days ago. They say delivery about 4 to 5 days, so we'll probably get it next week sometime, hopefully, and we'll put it in place. But we've got the instructions. We're going to go ahead and frame everything out
and I'll get ready to do the chimney stuff before we get the roof done. And I am waiting on a second estimate for the metal roofing. We'll talk more about that as time comes in. We got our first one. It's not as bad as we thought, so we feel pretty good about it. Although we want to go with the second guy, and we're still waiting on his total figure. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. And for now, let's continue with the chimney. Yay!
So here's my fixing of the rough opening. You see me putting in the bottom support, and then I'm going to raise the rough opening to 59.5 as they called in the instructions. So I'll put it in first, and then I'll cut out the other stuff, and I'll move the header up. I put a real header in there. They called for it. Of course, there's no real load on this thing, so I'm not sure why they went through that process, but there it is. I made like a door header, so you know, sandwiching 2x4s with a 1/2 inch in the middle, and wasn't hard. Just you know, I hate redoing because everything takes twice as long when you're doing that. You know, measure 3 times and cut once, as they say. Anyway, got it done, fixed up. Then we went on into the putting the walls in place. Angie's there still cleaning up, and now she's gonna help me put the things up. So building very simple sidewalls, and then we already put that one wall up. I used the old screw technique from the back, the other side of the containers, drill a hole, and then put a bunch of screws through the container into the framing, so pretty solid. This kind of holds it in place, and I go down the side and do that. And I don't really show you that part, that's just rinse and repeat. Make the other side wall, put the front wall on, and we call it a day for that day. So this is July 8th, so on the 9th we're going to finish up the fireplace and be done with that part, so we can check that off the list. Yay. And I spoke too soon. I actually made the walls for the second floor, I'll call it, for the fireplace. I made them, and then I called it quits. So the following day we put them up and then finish up the details. Wall 2. So these are just simple walls. They're just going to be shoved right on top of the existing framing of the fireplace. It's going to be a little shelf, a little 6-inch shelf sitting right above the front part of the fireplace, just for a little reset. So I am going to finish the sidewalls that go on top of the fireplace as well, and then I'm going to hike up the front and back wall. This is fairly easy to do, one person. I'm not sure there was enough room up there for 2 people anyway, but anyway, I managed. Went pretty good. Then I wanted to put a sidewall up there so the thing wouldn't fall on my head. So I moved the scaffold. I went up there and put the one of the sidewalls up and put like a nail in there. And then went to the other side of the container and I screwed in screws from the back end of the sidewall. And I thought I videotaped that, but I didn't have any footage, so you're just gonna have to trust me that I did that. We used a bunch of screws on the outside corners, and everything was pretty solid. So I'll rinse and repeat, put the other wall up. Once I put the 2 sidewalls up, then I went to put the front one. Some of the work, it's going the scaffold, you know, moving back and forth. That takes all the time. So doing the actual nailing and all that stuff is pretty straightforward. And then of course, you know, I always run out of nails when I'm up there. So I should probably put some in my pocket and bring them up there, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, pretty straightforward. It worked out really well. I was hoping to have a little more of a, you can see the recess on top of the first section of the fireplace. It's only 6 inches, but it makes the fireplace look less huge and bulky. So just having that little offset was good. Here I am trying to muscle in the other frame. It actually worked out pretty good. And then I put 1 nail and then put a couple nails actually to hold it. And then I need to cock it over a little bit to make it level. So I played with that just a hair more. So I ended up putting in one 2x4 that would cock the upper section over a little bit so it'd be level. And then I went to the other side to final screw the upper section to the container. And again, I thought I videotaped it and I didn't. Here I'm working on the little front header piece that goes on the very top, and this basically nails into the headers for the roof as well as the front of the fireplace. So it worked out pretty good. Nice tight fit, wedged it in, and it fit better than I measured. So a win-win on that one. The fun part was trying to figured out how to get it up there. Okay, I'm using a ladder on the scaffold, but you know, what can go wrong? Put one nail on this side, get down, move the scaffold, put it on the other side, make sure it's all nice and true, and then I nailed it to the chimney and to the rafters on the ceiling as well for a little bit of added support. So this thing is kind of wedged in there. It's pretty tight. Anyway, felt pretty good to make sure it was nice and solid. So last things I was going to do is put the sides on the top. I didn't bother putting a rear wall up top there. There's really no need for it. The only thing that's going to go there is chimney. We don't need insulation or anything like that. This is the inside of the house. So put them in there. This one was nice and tight. Put it in, nailed the sucker in there, and off and went to the other side. And we're done with that part. So pretty straightforward. I ran out of nails on that one, so that was great, as usual. Then I move over here to do the other side, and we're good to go. So the last but not least was the front 1 foot rise from the floor to the hearth area. So pretty straightforward. Just built a small wall and then 2 little kickouts on the sides, nailed everything together, and then ramjetted the things in place, and that was done for the day. This all took roughly 4 hours today, which is a little longer than expected, but it was hot. I had to have the windows closed. It was raining on and off the entire day, so it was pretty muggy inside, but no big deal. You see me doing little kickouts there, tiny little frame offsets, and that's just so we can, like, you know, sit at the fireplace or whatever, and not have the fireplace straight flat to the living room. Anyway, that was it. So yay, happy with that. Here's a ram set stuff working for you, nails and 22 cartridges, and off we go.
Whew. Well guys, that was it. Hope you enjoyed that. A little more work than, it's always more work than you anticipate. All the detail stuff takes twice as long, right? The main walls, they go, you know, you put them together in 10 minutes once you cut them up. We're doing a 1 foot mantle coming out, or hearth rather. And then once the fireplace goes in, it's going to be the opening above here. This is all part of the fireplace that has to go in there. They asked for a big header, so I put it in. But it's going to get extended to about here. So the fireplace will be right there. This will be covered up. And we'll probably have a mantle somewhere around there. Probably some log or wood, something or other. Maybe live edge kind of stuff. And we'll look forward to that. Anyway, there it is. It's tied to the wall. You saw me do a couple screws in the back, but I did a whole bunch on the outside of the supports. Screwed from the other side of the containers, so everything's kind of tight. Of course, you saw me do ram set those nails down there. It's all around, so it's pretty tight to the concrete as well. It ain't going anywhere, and not anytime soon anyway. And there you go. Check that off the list. Now we just gotta wait and get the fireplace in. I mentioned earlier, we checked with them. We should know probably Monday when it might be shipping. I expected it to arrive next week, but that's probably not going to happen. Not that we really need it inserted anyway, but you know, we're just trying to knock off the checklist quick. Once we get that, I'm trying to do the chimney before the roofers come, so I'm trying to get that lined up. I kind of know where the hole's going to be anyway, so I probably don't need the chimney per se. I've got the specs for it, so I can cut out the hole in the roof the day before the roofing guys show up or something like that. But I do have to make a chimney, so it's going to be interesting to do that. So I guess I have to do it a day or two before the roofing guys show up so I can actually build it. Anyway, I'll show you that later. Thanks for watching.